Like, it's just, and I'm just like, where the fuck is this misinformation? That's the most annoying thing. That is the most annoying thing with all this.
You're watching Chillmonger, you're watching Marcus, Back of the Bus, you're watching Darius, his channel's Planet Fanatics. On Thursdays, we do a live stream called the Pantheon Podcast. We're at the Jonathan Majors topic. Sir, you guys, oh, no, Darius. It was just Darius and Q and everyone. You guys were kind of upset yesterday of the interviewer going, hey, Jonathan, what did you think about Ezra Miller and then Robert Downey, huh? Hey, Jonathan, did you think they treated you fairly? It was genius. Having her say the quiet stuff for us, having her say that, and all he's got to do is listen to the question. Just that it's being asked made us newsworthy. Yeah, his big quote was heartbroken, and that was kind of the headline on everyone. But I don't think of her as an agitator or she was fishing for that racism, wasn't she? Dog, she was the alley-oop. She was the John Stockton, better example. She was the Steve Nash to his Amart, better example. She was the Kyle Lowry to his Kawhi Leonard.
I want...
No way, I guess. I'll let you go, Marcus.
I want Jonathan Majors to end his relationship with TMZ. Whatever that relationship may be. If they just randomly running into each other out there in Los Angeles, which I hope is the case, whatever the relationship may be, I want this to stop. And the reason why I want this to stop is because they could have just as easily gotten this quote over the phone. He could have texted it back to them. Oh, hey, Jonathan, I just so happened to meet you coming out of the wherever you're at right now. I totally didn't track you down here. Or
was he coming from the gym, not sweating?
Yeah, right. You know, I don't think we're in a place anymore where we need to be coordinating anything. And then even more than that, like, why would you want them back? Make them rue the day that they cut you. When in the midst of some other major studio deciding to take a chance on you, because if you continue to succeed the way you were prior to this situation, you'll be right back in that situation. You'll be right back where you were in terms of another studio willing to give you another lead role. Are you ever going to be Kane the Conqueror again? I don't know. I can't promise you that. I can promise you, as long as you are still the type of actor that you were prior to that you have a chance to be a leading man in Hollywood again. Don't go back looking for Marvel crumbs. To hell with them. I'm much more apt to the Johnny Depp attitude to things than I am to the Gina Carano. I don't want you to hire me back. Fuck you and the couch that you sitting on right now.
And $1 million alpacas.
I don't want to have nothing to do with that. And him winning in spite of Marvel moving on is stronger to me than any type of emotional pressure to be put on Disney to hire him back. I don't think that's realistic, and I think it's a little bit of a waste of time, especially because, fam, you won. You won. Not he won. He didn't win, but I think from where a lot of people were expecting him to go or would have liked him to go off the heels of this situation, he's fortunate. Take that and run with that. Stop looking behind you.
You mean the movie Merciless, the independent, from the guy who directed the one about child trafficking, Angel Studios. You know the one. It was big last year, especially amongst right-wing people.
Oh, yeah. The guy he was in Passion of the Christ.
So we know the movie, right?
Christ. Yeah.
The same producer in charge of that. He's doing the new movie called Merciless that Jonathan was cast in as the lead role. Independent. It's going to be filming in Canada in the fall. You're saying that's good enough? Take that because that's a victory. I want those.
I'm saying you're still getting career opportunities. You're still working.
Is that a career opportunity?
Forge ahead. It's a paycheck. It's an opportunity to still be seen on screen and do what he does. There is nothing coming from that path, man. Barking up that tree. I don't have anything for him. They're trying to strike his character from our consciousness with the nostalgia bomb of Robert Downey Jr. They're not opening that door again. So forge ahead and make them rue the day that they ever denied you. I would much rather see that than to have these teary-eyed conversations about losing our Marvel spot. Marvel's not in a position for you to have. I like that he didn't necessarily throw Robert Downey underneath the bus, or even Ezra Miller to that point, because there was no reason to take that shot.
Because those were some planned answers and planned questions, everyone. This was all staged, I'm telling you.
Hey,
He
I'm gonna leave it
so
alone.
mature. Didn't he look so mature by choosing the higher? I'm just going to talk about what is fair. She's asking what's unfair. Well, it's fair for Robert Downey to get a chance.
Yeah,
don't leave it alone. He handled that gratefully. Except he said Ezra Miller. He said Mr. Miller, which I don't think Mr. is acceptable for Ezra. So he doesn't get. He's a non-binary pronoun.
He's a them. Yeah. He's a them. He's them. Okay. Yeah. You gotta kind of keep all that stuff in your head. Anyways, yeah. I don't like it. Don't show your belly to these folks in some hope that they might offer you a job back. Screw them. And hope that this Hail Mary that they're throwing with Robert Downey Jr. and the Russo brothers crashes and burns. Because if it does, what are we even watching MCU movies for?
One quick Google search shows you that worked. The sympathy he's getting, there's TMZ, Variety, IGN, People, Forbes, they're all talking about this Jonathan Majors quote, his comment that he's been replaced and that he's heartbroken, and they're giving favorable, I hate ads, I'm trying to get rid of these ads, but they're giving him favorable coverage all over the place. The Robert Downey comparison has always fallen flat, given that he was convicted of nonviolent offenses decades earlier, and Majors was convicted of a violent offense. Maybe this is backfiring. It's actually not doing what I thought it would do.
This is terrible. Yeah, this is bad.
So yes, it makes sense that the two have been handled differently. I suppose we can check back on Majors in 20 years and see if he has a path similar to Downey. Okay, so there's the difference. The difference is 20 years is a long enough time, and then the other difference is that,
first of all, there was no violence. 20 years in between Robert Downey's his criminal past and when he was cast as Iron Man. There's 20 years in between the past and now, but there wasn't 20 years in between when he was in trouble with the law in Iron Man 1. That's number one. And then number two, flattening it out as if, oh well, Robert Downey's was non-violent crimes and Jonathan Majors was a violent crime. First of all, I don't count I accidentally harassed you or I accidentally mistakenly assaulted you.
Good point.
As violent as opposed to taking intravenous drugs and doing God knows what else, whatever the fuck you're going to do while you're high on those drugs. I don't see those as two polar opposites. I don't see those as two victimless things, or excuse me, one is a victimless thing and the other one is a crime perpetrated against the victim. It's not as simple to me as what the article proposed there.
Especially when all you're doing is trusting the judgment of a jury. If you are trusting the judgment of the jury, you remember he got not guilty for intentional assault. Remember that. If we're just trusting them like they're the be all end all and they know everything. But as all the evidence is being presented to me, if I care to look into the case, the driver said he didn't do it. He's the one who called 911 for her anyways the next day. There's video of her ear being perfectly fine all night. She was fit enough to go to the club.
We don't even have to go that far. I can be as simple-minded as Forbes was in the article. I can just say Jonathan Majors was charged with a misdemeanor. Robert Downey was charged with a felony. He's a felon. He's a convicted felon.
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors is not. So which one is worse?
Hey, stop hating on my RDJ. He got out of jail and was blackballed into 20 different...
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You can have it, Dre Mac. He made his way out. All I'm saying is there's definitely a posture that makes Jonathan Majors in his situation worse than that of what Disney has already accepted from their current roster of actors, from Josh Brolin to Jeremy Renner to what is his name? I always call him Captain Marvel.
Jude Law.
Not Captain Marvel. I always call him Miss Marvel's dad. Can't think of his name right now. And then Tenoch Huerta. Where did his allegations go? I guess it doesn't matter if allegations are unfounded, right? If we never follow back up on it, then it's cool. We can just keep going. Maybe flirt with the Namor movie. It's just a double standard, and it's very blatant.
You know the way he starts there, and he's wiping his eyes. You know what's coming, right? He's about to explode.
No, not at all. But I am going to. The thing, one of the things for me is like you were saying, Robert Downey Jr. is a felon, and Jonathan Majors got a misdemeanor. It's no different than politically right now. How, if, as I've said many times with the video, if the shoe was on the other foot and it was him chasing her, the conversation, God,
He under the
would
damn jail. Oh my God.
would have been so different. No different than if this was 2008 and Obama was running and he had all of those criminal felonies that it wouldn't even, that nigga wouldn't even have been able to touch the White House door. So of course we know what this is. This is white and black. This is, and I can hear people, oh, we're always using the race card, but I played whatever hand is dealt to me.
Yo, I need that shirt.
Oh yes, it is an Angry Beaver shirt. Yeah.
Angry Beavers.
Yeah. It is. Daggett. But yeah, that is my I just think it's all crazy. And I do feel bad for him. But on the thing about the whole the reporter, I don't know. Maybe it was planned. Maybe it wasn't staged. I don't know. I didn't think about that until honestly y'all were talking about it, and then actually kind of replaying the video in my head and how it all was coming out of a gym. You're not sweating. I just really didn't think about any of it. But I do feel bad for him. I feel bad for him. I don't feel bad for him in the way that Marcus was saying. Like I agree with Marcus about, fuck Marvel. Like you said, Marvel's not in any place right now to for any actor, anybody to be begging to get into Marvel. As a matter of fact, you ask any actors in the business lately, no one's begging to get into Marvel. You look at Finn. Is it Wolfhard? Is that how you say his last name? Mike from Stranger Things. When he got asked on a lie detector test, would you want to join Marvel? And he asked, working with Paul Rudd, have you talked to him about getting Marvel? He said, oh, no. And then the lie detector says, oh, that's true. And they said, is that because Marvel's been bad lately? He said, oh, yeah, absolutely. And the lie detector test said, oh, yeah, that's true. So you've even got actors saying they don't want to. Thanks. Yeah, so he doesn't need to be kissing Marvel's ass right now. He needs to be going after whatever studios are trying to give him love. That's the studios he needs to be giving love back to.
How embarrassing would it be that if like all of these potential meetups that we've been hearing about for the last couple of years, whether it was, high profile directors or actors, and it's just flaming out because nobody wants to hitch onto a burning train.
Yeah.
And they keep twisting it as it, oh no, Marvel move on. Oh, they tried and they turned down his treatment. What if they are actively like striking out when they're trying to reach out to, I'm going down an interesting rabbit hole. What if they tried their hardest to find another Doctor Doom to pivot to, and they just kept coming back to Robert Downey Jr.? Like everybody kept telling them no. And then Robert Downey just sitting over here like, hey, look, if you're going to pay me $90 million, I'll come back.
Well, the rumor is, and this is just coming out from after a few days ago, after the SCCC, the rumor is they've been trying to, I said this last night. They wanted Downey, again, rumor-wise, they wanted Downey for Multiverse of Madness. How we were all hearing, oh, it was Tom Cruise. It was Tom Cruise. It was never Tom Cruise. They had pitched something to Tom Cruise after going to Downey, and Downey said no. So they went to Tom Cruise, but they always had pitched Downey, and they had even pitched to him that, hey, we want you to come back and be evil Iron Man, and blah 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 blah. Downey kept telling him no. Then I guess they went to him again after the Russos. The Russos went to them with a pitch, and they have even turned the Russos down, and we're still going after Downey. And then Downey had proposed, well, I'll do it if you get the Russos. So then you got the Russos. You get
that's so noble of him to do that because he's been looking out for his friends even during Age of Ultron. Go ahead, sorry.
That is true. So again, they blah 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 cut the deal with the Russos. This man is now getting close to $120 million for Doomsday, Secret Wars, the post-credit scene that's rumored for Fantastic Four, and if that's assuming he shows up in anything else in between then.
God damn.
You think they ever offered him a Kang role?
Who? Robert
Yeah,
Downey?
Robert Downey. Because it's not like the character has to be someone who's as dark as Jonathan Majors. This is a
Doesn't it? If they've started on this road, can they just pivot to a white guy and tell you, no, it's the same person? Just go with it.
multiple universes.
I mean, multiple
we saw all
universes,
his
but we had
variants.
we
That's
had
where
an
they fucked
arena.
up. They
Yeah,
showed us all of his variants already. We ain't
had
seen a
an
white
arena.
guy in there. We ain't seen a white
Yeah.
Jonathan Majors.
We saw scrolls. I didn't see a white Jonathan Majors though.
If you were gonna get a whole arena of your variants, would you look for the white guys or?
You said there was
was
someone hiding around somewhere, somewhere in the stadium.
But there's only one actor that could play the role. Don't even get me started on that one. The Rock was busy filming Moana. They'd make black people more mad. Let's give Marvel their report card right now. Kang and the way they treated him, F. Especially like being defeated by super ants.
Even before he got in trouble, he got beat by ants.
Let's look at Black Panther. Well, I would have given it an A. The only mistake would have been, they didn't really show his intelligence. He's supposed to be really smart. But that was an A until they killed him in Wakanda, whatever. That's an F, right?
Let's be gracious and say that the A from the first Wakanda, the first Black Panther and Wakanda Forever is an F. Maybe that averages out to a D.
Darius?
Solid D.
Wait, are we giving it to who? To Wakanda who?
For
Wakanda
Black
Forever?
Panther. Their Black Panther card. Yeah.
So everyone's saying F. Everyone's saying F minus. Now it's the Black Panther. What do we say, everyone? And feel free to join the live chat. Darius, what do you give Black Panther? Their treatment of him. It's the Black report card at Marvel. What do you say?
The first. Are we talking his film, not Civil War?
Doug, the character, Black Panther.
Period.
T'Challa.
All of the appearances.
4 movies, and a funeral.
I'd give him. I'd have to go with that D. That the D plus. Sorry. Oh fuck. Pause. No
D plus. It's Civil War. We had Civil War. Give him a D plus.
Nah, I'll go with the D plus. I'll go with the D plus because yeah, Civil War is what saves it.
Okay. Next, Shuri. What do we give her? She handled decently. I'd give her a B.
Yeah, I mean, until Wakanda Forever.
She was an afterthought in Black Panther 1. Right? She had some good scenes, but she was mostly comedic relief.
She was what a supporting character was supposed to do. She was great
in
Black Panther.
Then in Wakanda Forever, she had a rush story arc that didn't perform well. I'm not giving that a B. And then now, what's rumored is that we're going to be moving right along from her in the third movie.
And they're going to give it to TJ.
Afterthought.
Oh, TJ.
Mary Sue arc replaced.
All right, fine. I say C+.
Okay. That sounds a little bit more fair. I probably will be a little bit more harsh than that, but C+ is fine.
D? Darius?
C's fine. I'll give her a C+.
Next character is Blade. F.
Oh, yeah. F.
Rounding F. Yeah.
And you can't say he wasn't in it. His voice was at the end of Eternals. He's part of this. Haven't seen him since. Treated terribly.
And this is
They're
not
making
just
jokes about him never being Blade.
Oh yeah. And this
Marvel
is not just
mishandled
any
that.
F. This
Marvel-
is not just any F. This is a you've been missing some papers and accumulated a lot of zeros, and now you're in the negatives, and you got a long way to catch up type of F.
Can you imagine Kevin Feige going to Mahershala talking about like, oh man, Kevin, man, I'm so glad you gave this meeting. I have a lot to talk to you about the movie and the development. I had some ideas, and he's like, yeah, no, me too. Blade is really important to us, but I have something else to discuss. There's going to be a joke in the upcoming Deadpool film that we want to make sure that you're okay with.
And we thought we thought your movie would have already been filmed by the time this joke airs. That's why Deadpool's going to look at the camera like, get a load of this guy.
Yeah. We're basically going to say that there's never going to be another Blade, even though we're really committed to making another Blade. Is that okay? Is that all right? So smack fire out of Kevin. You smack that stupid hat off his head. Like, imagine coming to ask me permission to make jokes about the movie that you're supposed to be making, that's supposed to be a priority to you, not being made. Like, you're going to acknowledge the running joke of a production this actually is to the world, to our customers, and make me the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Now, I would hope that wasn't the way that went, and that Mahershala is just a big enough person to be like, let Wesley get his shit off. Like that's the OG Blade. I hope. But I can also see the scenario where they had to clear that joke from him or with him in the midst of them actively not making the Blade movie. That would send me. That would send me. Oh, you want to make jokes about me in somebody else's film, but you won't finish my movie?
That was my question. That was my question. Did they sit down with Mahershala? Did they say, hey, I don't know. Was he in on the joke?
Because even if they did clear it with them, you got to think, as we are presently, his actual Blade production has been a shit show. So they're not really joking. They're kind of like they're poking the bear at what's actively a problem in Marvel, and then you want him to be able to proclaim that he's going to be the only Blade in one of the biggest movies that Marvel is ever going to do.
Right. Let's keep things going. So they mishandled Kang with Jonathan Majors treatment. Let's go back in time. What about Rhodey, who was originally cast as Terrence Howard, and then they did that contract BS that they didn't need to do. They blew it there. How about with Rhodey? Even when Don Cheadle is your family member, aren't you? You're not. No.
Well, they replaced him, and then they made him a dead end character. They never gave him any personality. They didn't give him a partner. They didn't give him any family members. We don't know shit about Rhodey.
He was disposable enough to just make a Skrull like that. Darius F.
Don Cheadle doesn't even know shit about Rhodey. Yeah. Don Cheadle even said in an interview, I hope in Armor Wars we learn more about Rhodey. I hope we learn about who his love interest is. What does he do when he's not in an Avenger? What is it? Because we don't know shit about him besides boom. You're looking for this? That's the only really.
And we only have that like as a high profile line because New Rockstars was making fun of it, and they kept playing that in their videos. Boom, we looking for this. That really wasn't a significant of a line. Come on now.
No, it wasn't at all. But that's just what he is known for. That is it.
Salute to New Rockstars. Rhodey
asexual. He's asexual. He doesn't have a partner.
Understood.
He's never even turned an eye like he was interested in a woman on his thing. But that is another running theme. I think T'Challa is probably the only one that's had a female partner in Marvel as far as black male characters go, unless I'm missing somebody.
But then it goes to what Samuel Jackson said. How come none of them have ever hung out? None of them have ever been on screen together.
Mm-hmm.
They're asking for Monica. Actually, you mentioned Sam Jackson. Nick Fury. Okay. What we think about Nick Fury? Okay, he was cool at the beginning. He was the shield, the glue guy, keeping things together.
Just for the sheer amount of projects he's been involved in kind of gives him some reverence. But then again, with the one and only time that we get a chance to have a solo Sam Jackson Nick Fury project, and it was abysmal. It was abysmal.
But you got to keep both eyes open.
Yeah, that was yeah. Winter Soldier, yeah.
And then the cat scratch, which the Flurkin scratch,
which that pissed me off so much. Give me a good Nick Fury story, not some fucking random cat alien scratched his face. And
Nick Fury went down to sea. If you would have asked me right before the Captain Marvel movie, I could give him. He's still a race off.
That's it. It's before Captain Marvel. In Captain Marvel, I don't even, and I know that this is I don't even really care about this shit anymore to really have these type of theories. Like I used to have a theory that the dude from the Department of Damage Control was a Skrull. I don't even care anymore. But I thought in the Marvels that just couldn't have been him. That could not, because the acting was so completely different than anything we'd ever seen from Sam as Nick before. He was so unserious. Black girl magic. I'm just what is this? The fight on the ship when he's talking to her while he's shooting the dude, and he's he cocks the guy, he's good theory. I'm just what this well, yeah, I just no. Before the Marvel, sure.
Monica Rambeau, Photon. Oh, can I even call her Photon? Because they pulled the scene where her superhero alias would have been announced. What? I think they're planning on making her the second Captain Marvel, or if you're a comic fan, the third Captain Marvel. I like the benefit of name recognition. Let me.
Yeah. Go.
having a name like Photon, which you don't share with anyone else. We don't got to say which one, huh? Like Spider-Man, which Spider-Man or which Captain America. You already know Photon. If the general audience, the millions and millions of fans are going to be introduced to Monica with a name, don't let it be Captain Marvel. Photon. They robbed that from her. They filmed the scene. Teyonah Parris said so. They even changed the comic book name from Spectrum to Photon. It felt like we were all gung-ho. And then during the editing of that movie, bringing it down to 90 minutes, they pulled the scene. This character...
They've already done the disservice of electing Carol Danvers first as Captain Marvel. And since that's where we are, don't double down on it by making her the hand-me-down. That's the type of shit that's really like not getting me on board with this. Oh, they're changing direction, they're pivoting away. I don't think they are. I think they're just counting on the fact that you really love these characters and these figures enough to just eat whatever they put out for you, because the stuff that matters to us doesn't matter to them. You know, me and Josh on Sunday, we talked about, a rumor that the Celestials are now going to be made out of antimanium.
Or adamantium.
Adamantium, yeah. Why? What? How would that even be possible if vibranium exists? And we know that happened due to the meteor. But now, if the Celestials were here during creation and they're made of adamantium, then it's basically just making it in reverse. Like, why? Like, it's just little small detail-oriented stuff that they kind of throw away, which lets me know that when they go down and hunker down and really decide how these stories are going to go, we're still going to get some of these weird twists and turns that don't have anything to do with the overarching narrative, or at least what we think the overarching narrative should be, because they're thinking something completely different, because that shit is not important to them. It's just not. I don't think it is, and that worries me.
Look, we're going down the pattern. It's not. I don't think it is. It isn't. Monica Rambeau, Darius, Photon, or Spectrum, as Kenny likes to call it.
Oh, I said G. Yeah,
and someone Williams said that she didn't have parents. Her mom and dad are comic characters. They exist. They exist. They're not superheroes or anything, but they exist. In the first Captain Marvel movie, there was a scene where young Monica, that little 10-year-old played by Akira Akbar, that was Monica Rambeau. Maria said, "Here, go with grandma and granddad." Okay, that pushes the single mother kind of narrative. That's a trope. If you watch Haunted Mansion, if you watch Strange World, if there's a thing happening in Disney, Tiana, Princess and the Frog, her dad magically...
Oh, there was no father in Haunted Mansion?
No, there wasn't. Eddie Murphy version, yes. The new one with Rosario Dawson, no.
Right. Yeah, I knew Eddie Murphy. Wow.
Yeah, they go out of their way. Yeah, this whole fatherless thing is a thing for them. I'm gonna have to give a failure to Monica too.
Those are small, like little oversights that don't feel like a lot in the moment when you're watching the movie, but they start to compound themselves, and then you look across the spectrum, and it's like, yo, what is this? Like, all of these random little occurrences that change the story just a little bit, and you end up with a totally different kind of product. I don't trust that all of Marvel's problems are fixed by bringing in Robert Downey Jr. or even the Russos, because they haven't decided to do something different. They haven't decided to go back to what they were doing narratively back in 2008. If they're not going to decide to do that, then I think we're lost.
Sam Wilson, the Falcon, now he's calling himself Captain America.
Before he was Captain America, I didn't mind Sam. I mean, like I said, I do shit on Anthony Mackie because I can't stand Anthony Mackie. But I didn't mind him as Sam Falcon before now. And then too, I just don't like Anthony Mackie.
It sounds like you don't like Anthony Mackie.
I don't.
I'll say this has been a B-. I don't like that he's going to wear Captain America and they're going to give him a movie now that he's Captain America. I think that sends the wrong message. Hey, act white. Now you're movie worthy. That's not what I jive with.
Or take on a white man's role and then you can get your own movie. You start acting like Chris Evans, then all of a sudden you can be the guy. It's just, I like you said, the
Elevate
opposite
Falcon.
of that feels where.
Make Falcon a top tier name. You made Black Panther a top tier name. You know you can do it. Doctor Strange became a top tier name. You elevated unknowns like Deadpool.
And I think they're kind of closing the door on the reversal of this. I think a lot of people thought that this whole elevation at the beginning from Sam Wilson to Captain America was temporary. But with them anointing the new Falcon, it essentially fills that role, which keeps him locked in as Captain America in this universe in perpetuity. So it's like, so we're not even going to do the thing where the original guy comes back and reasserts himself in that role, and Sam goes back to being Falcon. No. He's Captain America in perpetuity. Like so we're just doing this. That is who he is for good. They couldn't have ever thought that Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie, whatever you want to call him, could carry the MCU in any capacity. They couldn't have thought that. Now, if you thought that he could have a good movie flanked by Harrison Ford and Giancarlo Esposito and some of these other stars are going to be involved in this movie, that doesn't seem as far-fetched to me as thinking that he can be the new head of the MCU. That's preposterous. I don't think there's any stitch of evidence, theatrically or otherwise, that suggests that Anthony Mackie can carry the MCU.
It's not even no. I mean, and anybody that ever entertained that thought should have immediately been fired. I mean, immediately resignation.
So why are we filling the spot with a Falcon with this other guy that we don't care about?
I don't know. Any other superheroes that we're missing out on?
Right? Yeah.
Joaquin Torres. Any other superheroes that we're missing out on? Everybody. I think the Marvel.
That's the black ones.
Ironheart.
I mean, if you really want to dig deep, you could talk about Lawrence Fishburne as Goliath, but
Goliath.
See, they're wasting the castings. What did you say about Sidewinder? How Giancarlo Esposito, we were saying, oh my God, he's going to play this character, that character. When it finally gets to the casting, he's playing a character whose face is red. That's not even a melanated character. Representation is important. He's going to be elevating the franchise or the IP of a red-faced Serpent Society leader. Representation is not that hard. It's not that hard, and they've completely dropped the ball. Of course, they're doing Jonathan Majors dirty like this. It would be odd for them to not do this to Jonathan Majors.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. I just don't understand. What was his representation thinking? Like, was all of the Professor X stuff maybe coming from his camp?
Esposito?
Yeah, like they were trying to really pub it up to try to make Marvel second guess what they were lining him up to do.
They probably really had those conversations with Giancarlo, but
come on, man, what is the track between Professor X and Sidewinder?
There's that's what I'm saying. There's this.
How did we get here?
And then
Kevin off. Did I show up late to a meeting? What did I do? Like we were talking Professor X, and now I'm Sidewinder.
Maybe it always was Sidewinder. Maybe it always was Sidewinder because there's no way he is sitting here pumping up. I'm not even talking about. I'm talking about most recently where he's like, and I'm going to get my own show after. And you guys, this is one of the coolest Sidewinder. No one's checking for Sidewinder. And then when you mentioned him being red, that's not shocking. And the reason that's not shocking is because Ahsoka. It's just like we don't get. And that's a whole. I could go on a whole another conversation on that, but we just don't get that. We don't.
You don't get a full production humanizing your skin tone with a role, and that's not what at Disney. Hell no. Hey, Jamie Foxx played Soul, right? Was it Soul in the Pixar thing? He's gonna be
where 90% of the film he was either in a cat's body or he was a walking bubble.
It's just like the frog and Princess.
Just like the frog and Princess and the Frog. Yeah.
I'm not paranoid for imagining these things. So yeah,
no, you're not. No.
They're gonna do Jonathan. And I'm also not paranoid by listening to the voice of this interviewer. Okay, it's the same woman all the time.
Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
So this was from 4 months ago.
Oh,
why is it the same woman?
Lady, like, why do they feel like they have some sort of relationship? Like, ooh, let me turn on my Find Jonathan app. Where is he at today?
Let's see. This one was from
Johnny. That don't look good. I didn't know.
Go.
That's funny. Oh God, he said, "Oh shit."
He's
Are
very
you making me to
familiar
get
with her.
engaged? I mean, do you want to propose? Do you want to propose, maybe?
Of course.
I love that. So you guys have had the conversation then. So, okay. I mean, you guys are a power couple. I mean, have you felt the support from your community and your families?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
Both families on board then.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, do you guys plan to do like a movie together? I mean, you guys are both amazing actors. So come on.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay. I mean, you just landed your major role since being back. I mean, how does it feel to be back? Have you felt the support from fans?
It feels great. You know, I'm just excited. You know, I just love it so much. So yeah, I'm excited and I'm feeling a lot of love from the homies and from the fans. So yeah,
He doesn't always give great answers either. So it just really makes me scratch my head, yo. Like, you just popping up. Oh shit.
What up? What up? What up? What up?
Oh hell.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm in here.
Hey.
Chillmonger. What up? What up? What up?
We got the comic expert Josh back at
All
the front of the
all
bus.
Well, never mind. This is a terrible idea.
I'm gonna ask you what happened in War of Kings by Dan Abnett.
You know, in War of Kings, it was crazy, right?
Was
So, like, you know, a couple things happened. I didn't even expect it, right?
yeah,
so,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Don't do that.
Considering Vulcan was part of it, they were building it up with Black Bolt and his empire. And
No, Vulcan didn't even do that shit.
Vulcan?
No,
The thing
Vulcan
is,
didn't even do that.
Professor X definitely steered him in that way. He wasn't clear of sound of mind. You know, we would learn
No,
later. You're right.
he didn't even do that shit. You're lying.
I think he has to hold some accountability, but fine. Yeah, I'll give you that. It was all on Black Bolt. I'll give you that.
It was on Black Bolt.
For sure.
Bullshit.
He needs to learn
You're
to keep his
lying.
mouth shut.
What's up? Why we stop talking all of a sudden? Nah, I came in here.
Well, y'all
What do you
started
think?
having comic book conversations, so I humbly
Yeah, but I
let it
can't
out.
have comic book conversations. Chillmonger just invited me to be on bullshit.
So Jonathan Majors, he's getting approached by this woman. She's asking him questions. What do you think of the woman who's doing that to him? Like, do you think wrong of her? Do you think that she's part of the skit? Like, Jonathan knows he's gonna get headlines for this. He started with the heartbroken answer, and then she's asking.
Jonathan absolutely knew he was going to get headlines for anything that he said because he was absolutely media trained for everything that he said. But I feel like he handled that absolutely incredibly. I felt like it, at least.
So do you think he set it up then? Because I do.
No, he didn't set that up.
I
Do you
can't
feel
tell
like-
anymore.
Wait. Do you feel like he set up the little situation where he got the little girls out of here when they were about to fight?
No.
You know, I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell anymore because they are always in perfect position to find this man doing something or walking to nowhere so they can ask him a bunch of questions. It
I bet she was the interviewer too.
Yeah, and she's the same interviewer, so it feels very much so like either they got his location on lock and he giving them a little back signal when I'm gonna be out, or they stalking this man. And either situation is very like we don't need to be doing.
Maybe he got to connect with them. He got to connect with TMZ.
He got the TMZ connect, but he don't need it no more. Like I would much rather see him fade to black and kind of normalize his life than to be in TMZ's greatest hits.
That didn't stop the fight between two young girls. What
He got to start
happened?
wearing his fucking bowler hats too. That shit gotta go.
Were you just trying to be a helpful guy?
I think that's her voice, isn't it?
No,
That
okay.
sounds like
I wasn't privy to all these other TMZ interviews outside of the one where he broke up the two girls fighting. That is the same bitch that was just on the other videos. And every time that she seems to, and I don't know, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but every single time that she seems to catch him, where is brother going? Like,
Nowhere. He's never going anywhere.
Where is he going?
No, he's going to the Kango shop. He's going to the Kango shop every single time. Paperboy hat every time.
Let me play the whole video though. She is going to his car, and he holds it open like he's not done answering the questions.
Because she probably got off script.
Did you know the girls? You didn't know them.
School fight. I saw it. That's all.
I'm sorry, what?
School fight. I saw it.
Oh, a school fight at the Hollywood High School.
Yeah.
And you just wanted to stop and make sure that nobody got hurt?
Of course.
Of course. Thanks, Sean. Were they okay? Were they okay?
I'm hoping so.
Yeah? What can I ask what happened? They were just fighting and you just pulled them apart?
If she asked that again, I'd have.
Yeah. Yeah. They're all good though. What's your message to the girls?
Girl, get out my face.
That's what I would have said.
Thank you.
It sounds like she had a script to follow and she forgot some of the key details that she was supposed to get out of that whole interview. So then she can, yeah, by the way, what was the message? Because you're supposed to say these nice things that make you look good. I'm not saying the breaking up the fight was fake. I'm not saying that. But I'm suggesting that, yo, I'm going to be here any minute now. TMZ show up. And it's the same woman all the time. So same phone number he's calling. I'm not saying he did what they accused him of doing to Stephanie. I'm not saying he's a bad guy at all.
No, I mean that doesn't say. Look, man. First of all, we're dealing with celebrities. We're dealing with an actor. Number one, right? So like, just take it with a grain of salt for that amount of reasons. And then also on top of that, I could see where is that a grain of salt? Okay, there you go. I could see where he maybe someone has convinced him that this is in his benefit to have these communications, whether he's setting it up or not, because it's keeping him in the public conversation, which keeps him closer to getting more work. I just don't feel like the Marvel one is the one that kind of sent me over, because it's like don't show your belly to them people. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Not to them.
Just asking the questions was the publicity he needed.
Agreed.
For sure. I'm glad he got a little bit of a moment without Megan Good. Because I swear to God, every single moment that he's had in the last 3 or 4 months have been about Megan Good. So
You heard what Kat said. That pretty black woman cut his time in half. And he's been there cutting his time in half ever since.
hey, I've been watching y'all every single time on Thursday and Friday, because I swear to God, y'all switch up every now and then. But rock out. I'm fucking with it. I'm out.
Thank you, Josh.
Appreciate it.
All right, dog.